Hi folks, it's Andy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're here in the dojo so that I can give you a very quick and informal rundown of the different types of uniforms that we offer at KendoStar and which is the right one to choose. So I've brought a selection of the uniforms that we offer at KendoStar here with me today. The only one that I've not brought with me is our Essentials model. That's our entry-level model. It's really designed for new starters in Kendo. It is a basic single-layer Kendogi. It's not Izome dyed, and a sort of synthetic hakama. It's great as your first set, great when you're just starting out, or if like clubs want to buy loads of sets for the club or what have you, it's a great choice for that as well. But it's a great entry-level point. But what I really want to talk about today are the main uniforms that we get the most questions about and how we can differentiate between them. All right, so I'm going to start with the one that's a slight outlier compared to the others, and that is the Kachi uniform set. It's a fantastic uniform set. I use this. This is probably my most used one. As you can see, it's got a bit of a sheen to the hakama and a little bit with the Kendogi as well. It's synthetic hakama and Kendogi. It's 100% synthetic. It's polyester, so it's not like your traditional set, but it is designed to be lightweight, easy to wear, very comfortable, and very convenient. All right, it's very convenient because you can, after practice, you can just wash it with your normal clothes. You don't need any special washing things, really. Best if you can bung it in if you can put it into a washing net or an old pillowcase, that'll protect it a little bit more, especially the hakama, protect the edges of the koshita and what have you. But otherwise, it's a reasonably easy to care for uniform, very, very convenient for regular practice. The Kendogi, it's got this kind of pattern, this kind of sashiko pattern. I'm not sure if you can see it. So it does look more like a traditional Kendogi, and the hakama has our pleat lock stitching in it as well. So you can be sure that whilst you're wearing it, it still looks nice and tidy. So with that being said about the Kachi, okay? So the Kachi is the slight outlier because that is the synthetic one. It's the one that's you're mainly supposed to use that for practice. You could use it for shiai because it does look all right. It looks like a sort of Izome one. It looks similar. It doesn't stand out as a sort of synthetic one too much. But as you progress in your Kendo career, you probably find at some stage you're going to want a sort of traditional cotton type Kendogi and hakama that's dyed using Izome. Okay, Izome. Izome is the traditional Japanese indigo dye. It rubs off on your hands, as you can probably see. My hands are very blue because I've been handling all of these. And that's really the sort of traditional type of Kendogi, and especially the type that you'd be sort of more recommended to wear for shiai and certainly for gradings, especially if you're going for sort of higher dan level gradings. As you can see, I'm wearing a Kendogi and hakama myself today. I'm wearing our Kioi set, which I'll talk about first. The Kioi set is a lightweight Kendogi and hakama, again made fully using 100% cotton and Izome dyed. It's all Izome dyed, sorry. It's designed to be lightweight. I've got a product video on it itself, so you can watch it in detail about the details of the specific product. But the main thing about this is the one you want to choose if you want something that's very, very lightweight, very comfortable, very easy to wear, and very quick drying. Okay, it's a thin Kendogi. All right, the Kendogi is very thin. Okay, very, very thin. Makes it very light, very soft, very comfortable. But if some people like to have something that feels a little bit more substantial and maybe offers a bit more protection, because as we go up in thickness, you get a little bit more cushioning from it as well. All right, so it's a great entry point to the Izome type Kendogi. The unique feature of it, of course, is the stitching on the Kendogi. It has this Hishizashi type kirarizashi, it's called, weave on the Kendogi, which is absolutely great. And then, much like our Kunai, it features, and the Kachi actually, features pleat lock stitching. So the stitches on the front of the hakama are stitched in as well. All right, so that it's very, 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 very presentable when you're wearing it. It keeps the shape, and it's very easy to fold as well, because it's very important that you fold them. Aizome, as I say, it's going to rub off on your hands and on your body, all right? It's going to do that for a while. We'll talk about how you deal with that in a minute. The next one in the series is the Kunai. Kunai is a reasonably new product. Kunai is kind of the in-between between the kimboshi and the kioi. We'll talk about kimboshi in a second, but it has a very similar appearance to the kimboshi. It's got that traditional sashiko appearance of the fabric like that. It's a single layer, but on the inside, it's got this wonderful synthetic mesh, all right? So it's very soft on your skin, and it wicks sweat away from your body very well as well, all right? So if you want that sort of traditional look without the extra weight, and you sort of want something that's maybe in between the sort of heavier option and the very, very lightweight option, and the Kunai is a fantastic sort of middle of the road set. It's a great all-rounder. It's great if you want to use it every day. Well, not every day, but for your regular practice. Again, you've got the pleat lock stitching in the hakama. Hakama's still nice and light. And looks fantastic too, all right? So it's a great sort of middle of the road if you're unsure of the type, if you know which one you want to go for. If you want something super light, then go for this one. If you want something sort of in the middle, then go for this one. And then let's talk about kimboshi. Kimboshi, it's been a staple of our lineup for years now, actually. It's our sort of prestige level or class of the uniform. The kendogi is so soft. It just feels really, really nice and soft because that is due to the wonderful double weave of this very high-grade cotton that's used in it. Of course, again, beautiful colour because of the Aizome dye, but this has that double layer thickness. So it's a little bit thicker than the other two. You get a little bit more protection from it, from mist strikes and stuff like that. But it's designed to look like the sort of traditional, the top-level kendogi. And to match with that is the wonderful hakama that go with it. These hakama are somewhat heavier than the others. Hakama fabric is often measured by thread count, which is basically how many threads are in a certain area. This is an 11,000 mix, and this makes it, like I say, a little bit heavier than the others. Kunai is a 7,000 and kioi is a 5,000. All right, so it's sort of double that. It doesn't mean it's double the weight because it's not. If you hold both of them together, this is notably a little bit heavier, but it's not like double. But it is somewhat thicker. Okay, it's a beautiful color. The type of Aizome process that we have is absolutely great. We have secretly compared this with other models on the market from our rivals, and we have sort of blind tested it as well with people, shown them both, asked them to choose which they prefer, and every time they've chosen the colour of ours over those of our competitors. And that goes for all the models, by the way. But this is a really wonderful, high-grade, really prestige, very nice hakama. Now, one thing I will say with this, it does not feature the pleat lock stitching, all right? It's only stitched on the inside of the pleats. We can't stitch the outside. If you stitch the outside, it just won't sit correctly. The fabric is just too thick for that. So what happens is if, you know, when you sonkyo and stuff like that, it balloons out and it doesn't go back, all right? So there are three main types of cotton Aizome, hakama and kendogi sets. As I said, the prestige level, very nice, double layer, 11,000 mixed hakama, beautiful appearance, very, very soft feeling of the kendogi. Top level appearance, that's the kimboshi. Super lightweight, very quick drying. Still looks sharp though, I'm wearing it now. Okay, I'm wearing the kioi right now, and it still looks super sharp. Very thin, very lightweight, very quick drying kendogi. Lightweight, thin hakama, great for shiai. It's a great shiai uniform if you ask me. You could wear it for gradings as well though, of course, because it still looks awesome. Then you've got the kioi, okay, that's the kioi. And if you want something in between the two, then you've got the kunai. It's a great sort of one to go for. If you're not sure which direction you want to go for, maybe it's your first genuine Aizome kendogi and hakama set, then this is a great choice. Go with this one, see how you get on with it, and then in the future you can pick if you want something that's even lighter, because it's still a lightweight one, or if you want something that's very sort of substantially, feels substantial. you can go for the bosi, okay? The last things I'm gonna note just on these sets, again, we talked about how they're isomy and it stains you, so expect them to stain your body after use and stuff like that. When you first get them, it's worth rinsing out the excess dye, all right? Now, I've done a video about how to wash your Kendo-gi hakama. If you do that once before you wear them, it's definitely worth doing, okay? I've done that once with this set that I'm wearing, okay? As you can see, it's not that it fades loads or anything like that, but it just rinses out some of the excess dye. Secondly, when you do come to wash them, you can't just put these in the washing machines. These need to be hand washed, all right? They need to be hand washed. And you don't want to be using strong soaps or anything like that. You can just use clean, cold water to hand wash them as per the video that I've done. You don't need to set the dye, don't need to be soaking them in vinegar or salt or pepper or olive oil or any other condiments, all right? You don't need to do any of that, all right? You just rinse them once when you first get them, get rid of some of the excess dye, and then you can get into wearing them, all right? With them being cotton, especially the hakama, they'll shrink a little bit, all right? They'll shrink a little bit as you use them and as you wash them. So bear that in mind when you're choosing the size as well. Allow for maybe 1 to 2 centimeters maximum, all right? I would choose, maybe if I'm using the Kunai, I'll use sorry, not the Kunai, the kachi. The kachi, I'll usually use maybe a 26, sometimes a 27. I have both, actually. I can use either. I just change where I wear it on my hips. But with this one, this Kioi, I've gone straight away with the 27 because I know it'll shrink that little bit and it'll be the perfect length. Okay, but again, you can adjust it a little bit as that process happens as well. And that is the sort of overview of the uniforms that we offer at KendoStar. If you've got any questions on any of them, if you're unsure about anything, then don't be afraid to hit us up at mail@kendostar.com and we'll be happy to help. Thank you for joining me today and we'll see you next time.